Welcome to another In Wheel Time podcast, a 30-minute mini version of the In Wheel Time car show that airs live every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central. Details.
No, I think that I put my notes away here.
Why'd you do that?
I turned too many pages.
Turn the page. It's a Bob Seger song.
Is it?
Yeah.
Enjoyed and loved around the globe. It's the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Did you like that?
I liked it. Did
Very
you write
good.
that?
Did you like it, Mars?
Yes, I did.
I think
It's
you
very
wrote
You
good.
want me to say it again?
Sure.
Enjoyed and loved around the globe. It's the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Just ahead, we got stories to tell.
Yeah, we do.
Jeff
may not be true.
Jeff has this week's cruise-in calendar. We'll also have the stories making automotive news headlines. Howdy, along with Mike out of this world, Mars. We always need more Jeff Seekin.
Yes, sir.
I'm Don Armstrong. Glad you could join us on this Saturday for our live edition. We do it every week, generally speaking, from 8 to 11. We've got some things coming up soon. One is the Hot Rod Tour of Texas. That's going to be at the end of the month.
Very cool.
And that show is going to be done by Mr. Mars. He's going to videotape it. God help us. He's going to videotape it on Thursday, beginning Thursday night, at the reception that they're going to have in downtown
big
Victoria.
kickoff, yeah.
The big kickoff. And then we're going to videotape some stuff on Friday. Then Friday night, he's not going to join our party. He's going to have his own party in his hotel room, editing this video to play for you in a 3-hour special Hot Rod Tour of Texas segment.
He's got
I have got a bottle of brown water.
I was
set
gonna
aside
say-
just for that process.
So this is why Becky's not going.
well, part of it.
She can go. She can just hang with us.
Well, yeah, we'll take
Well,
her
I
with
told her
us.
that. I told y'all could go to the drive-in, and she said she wasn't going to get in the Corvette with you and Leslie, so she said no.
Well, we're going to be there. Kathy's going to be. We're going to have her.
Well, she
Lexus.
didn't want to get in your back seat at the
Oh, that's
drive-in,
fine. That's
so-
all right.
Well, whatever.
She can sit in the front seat. We'll be in the back.
So
There you go.
She could be the driver.
There you go.
Get her a little.
I have
She needs to go.
I agree.
stuff.
You do.
I thought I'd labeled this as a feature, but I guess I didn't.
Well, while you're looking for that, let me tell you about my truck. The in-wheel time truck.
So
I get-
time machine.
I wish
yeah.
that you
In-wheel time
would.
machine,
You
yeah.
mean the thing with the exhaust leak?
Well, I'm pretty sure I've about decided that's exactly what it is, but I haven't got that far yet because now I have a fuel cap loose light came on. So, so I tried to tighten it up, didn't work. So I went to the Ram dealer, going to buy a new fuel cap for $42, they said, and I decided no. So I went down to a parts house and I bought one for $19 instead. Looks the same to me. Put it on, it did not work.
Imagine that, Jeff.
So I went back to the Ram dealer, and of course the parts guy I talked to before, he was gone, took off. To
Now
go
it's
to the
$700.
Eclipse.
Not $700. Uh-huh.
Yeah, but they remembered it because they talked about me after they left. They said they wouldn't do what I was fixing to do, and they bet that I would be back, and sure enough, I was. So anyway, so I got it, and I put it on there, and
Did the light go out?
the light did not go out, and the check engine light did go on.
Don't you have to reset it?
So I got out my tool, and I checked it, and it said that there is a slow
You got
leak.
out your tool. I hope not.
The reader, the
OBD.
OBD reader,
Yeah.
and
it said-
it gave me a code for a slow leak, and I thought, okay,
A leak.
that's a
What
fu-
kind of leak?
in the fuel
fuel
system,
leak.
the fuel vapor
Yeah,
leaks.
vapor leak.
So I already changed the fuel filler cap. There is a valve, the best I can tell, like the old PCV valve.
Like a check valve.
Yeah, that goes into the throttle body that takes the fumes out of the gas tank. It reads the pressure, and the overflow goes there. Okay, fine. And I can't find it because of the big engine cover. I haven't got it off far enough yet to find it. But the thing I did learn is that
I want to watch that.
it says that if you fill you fill up your fuel tank and you want to top it off, if you keep topping it off too far, it'll actually put fluid over into
Yeah,
that.
and it'll ruin it. Yeah.
Yeah. So here recently, I don't know I did it because I clicked it, but it didn't kick off. The automatic kickoff didn't kick off, and all of a sudden I got gas coming out of the filler tank. So I grabbed it, but I know it filled it up too much, and it was shortly after that that light came on, and I never knew that because I always I didn't necessarily want to top it off, but I rounded it off to the dollar figure so that I could see on my bill
an even number.
Yeah. And so I'm still fighting that, but I thought it was interesting to know that you can actually mess something up if you top it off.
Might I suggest something?
Please. On the air?
There are people that are there are probably people that are going to go, no, that's not going to fix it. It's worth a shot. Disconnect the battery. Clears all the codes, clears everything.
Mm-hmm.
Goodbye. Then hook the battery back up and see what happens.
I may do that. I cleared the code with the reader. It'll erase the code, and the code will go off. But shortly after you start the engine, and it goes through its cycle, and you see all the lights come on and off, then it'll pop back on. It'll reset itself.
When you disconnect,
but I may try the battery.
When you disconnect the battery, take the negative off. Don't take the positive off. Take the negative off, because if you take the positive off, it's going to spark when you put it back on. So take the negative off the pole, do what you got to do, and then put the negative back on.
I may try that. I think I'm erasing it, but I'll absolutely try that because now it's going to have to be. I got to figure out where that valve is, and I'm going to.
It's all online, my friend.
Well,
all of it.
It's right there by the throttle body. Is what it says. Well, by the time you get that big cover off the top of the engine,
thing should just snap off of there.
Yeah,
it does. But you got to get up in there to it because the truck's lifted a little bit. You know.
Come on, Mars.
or you could just go to the Emmons Autoplex and trade it in.
On that 2002 white Corvette they've got sitting there with 38,000 miles on it.
Yeah.
Not that I've noticed.
Hello, McFly. Then you'd have to get a hitch on the back of the Corvette for a trailer to pull all of our junk when we go on the road.
Absolutely.
The
I
junk
could get
trailer.
it wrapped, get John to wrap it with the in-wheel time logos all
You know
over
what? There are a lot of people that line up right behind me to kill you if you did that.
it, including my wife.
And we'll videotape it and put it in one of the segments.
I think what you need to do is you need to go down there and buy that Corvette. And if it's on the Emmons lot, I know that Kylie's looking for a car.
I was trying to get a lead in somehow to that. Yeah.
And I think that, Emmons, she's got to get a car, 38,000 miles.
And we've been talking to Don and you about Kylie being
16.
of age, she's got her license and all that. She's going to get a car, not necessarily hand me down from her mom or her dad, but a car. So Don says contact Jerry, and I reached out to Mike. I reached out to David Ainsley, who needed Jerry's phone number. Well, they had Gary's number. So I called Gary last week and left him a voicemail. And he didn't pick it up because they've been busy. I thought maybe they were in Vegas at the 4-wide going on this weekend at NHRA. He said, no, they had other things going on prep-wise. Nevertheless, he said he was going to find out from his team. He was going to get us a particular salesman to walk Kylie, my granddaughter, 16 years old, through the car buying process. So when that happens, we're going to try to get something on video and maybe some storylines behind it.
I think that is an excellent idea.
A 16-year-old girl, young lady, buying a car for the first time. And obviously she's got help. It's not going to be in her name. She can't do that.
Well,
but it's going to be the process.
Because what she probably is starting to understand, we're all looking over her, making sure that all this works
Well, we
right.
got my son, Jason. He works for Lexus. He's premier painter for them, and he's involved in it. So we'll see how that works out and maybe get a storyline.
It's a good learning experience for a 16-year-old girl.
Put that microphone a little bit closer to your mouth there, Mars.
Oh, boy.
God.
So anyways, that's going to be the project.
Yeah, I think that would be good, though. Because I've watched my teenage granddaughters as they're starting to get into the process, about filling up cars. Some things they're a little timid over, and I think that's great that you're doing that.
Well, speaking of car dealers, I titled this, A Rip-Off High-End Dealer in Trouble with the Law.
Oh, that's a big title.
A Florida dealer in collectible vehicles and a buyer have accused a Canadian dealership of failing to disclose the 2006 Ford GT Heritage Edition, purchased for a mere $716,800, had been seriously damaged in a crash and restored. So the GT is worth much less than the price Borek Auto Sales and Robert Gorini paid to Silver Arrow Cars, which specializes in high-end collectibles, according to the federal court suit filed March 6th. Suit alleges fraud, misrepresentation, and related claims against Silver Arrow of Victoria, BC. That's British Columbia. And its president, Tim Auxister. According to the suit, the vehicle was one of 343 GT Heritage Edition cars, a line produced only in 2006. This edition was a 21st century interpretation of the GT40 model that won the 24 Hours of Le Mans 4 consecutive years from 66 to 69, the complaint said. Auxister told Automotive News, from which I got this story, he and Silver Arrow will try to get it thrown out quickly. It's a claim with no merit, adding the car had a clean Carfax report when it was sold. Here's the timeline for the GT sale. In 2015, it was badly damaged in a crash in Brazil. An accident that was well publicized and well known in the exotic car industry, according to the complaint. The Brazilian owner shipped it to Detroit for restoration, then sold it to a Tampa, Florida used car dealership specializing in high-end vehicles. That seller disclosed the restoration verbally and in writing to the buyer, it said. The complaint said the defendants were aware that a collectible vehicle's value is substantially lower if it had been damaged and restored, and knew that many purchasers, like Guarini, don't attend auctions in person to inspect a vehicle. Instead, they rely on the information they receive. The crash didn't appear on the Carfax report because it happened in Brazil. Understandable. Auxister and Silver Arrow allegedly recorded the purchase as occurring on the same day in March 2022 that the Brazilian owner sold it to the Tampa store, according to the store. Almost immediately, the defendants co-signed it to an auctioneer but didn't disclose the prior damage and restoration to the auction firm, whose pre-consignment form requires sellers to state where a vehicle is custom restored or original restored, the suit claims. It also said they failed to provide the auction firm with the required detail shots showing any flaws, blemishes, undercarriage, and other close-up highlights. The car was damaged in another crash in Florida about 3 weeks after the sale. Only then was the prior restoration detected when Guarini brought it in for repairs, according to the suit.
What's all this bondo?
The suit seeks the difference between the price paid and the car's actual value, along with the punitive damages and attorney's fees. Auxister and Silver Arrow have been defendants in earlier cases, U.S. and Canadian court records show. The 2019 Ford Motor Company sued them in Ontario for buying a new GT for $690,800, then selling it for more than double that amount several weeks later. Automotive News Canada reported. The suit accused them of violating Ford's 24-month ban on reselling the vehicle. In 2017, Silver Arrow was sued in federal court in Washington state in a dispute over a 2015 Porsche 918 Spyder they had sold for $1.4 million.
Wow.
The plaintiffs won default judgments totaling more than $661,000 against Silver Arrow. So they got some of their money.
What's the exchange rate? U.S. to Canada, U.S. to Brazil?
I don't know all of that.
I don't know.
But I guess the point being that buyer beware. And especially when you get into those kind of cars, you think, because you're paying all this money, that the thing's going to be pristine. Nay.
Well, you said the auction relied on word of mouth rather than investigating. Now, you don't find that at a Beacom. You don't find that at a Barrett's.
As a matter of fact, speaking of that,
to go into that, because
Craig had a car, a Nova, that he's had in his possession for years and years and years.
Very fine car.
It's a beautiful resto mod, is what it is, and it's worth a lot of money. And he took it to Beacom to sell it. Well, the VIN number that appears on both the engine and on the cowl are correct. However, they got underneath it. Craig didn't know this either, but apparently underneath it, up on top of the fender well, you can only see from underneath the car, up there at the top of the fender well, the VIN number up there was 1 digit off. And they said, nope.
Nay.
They said, we can't sell this car. Really? Yep, it's 1 digit off. So they know where to look on these cars, and especially these resto mods, or originals or whatever. But I would imagine, if you go in there and you want to buy some ragged out car, okay, you're buying the ragged out car. But when you get into resto mods and customs and the high end stuff, then it's a whole nother, because you're spending a lot of money. And like Mecum, in their defense, they don't want to have anything to do with.
And it's probably got something to do with disclosure laws, just like selling a house.
Well, that's like in this one. They just word of mouth.
Well, but the other one, this other one you were talking about, though, they did a lot of stuff the same day. They actually got it in. They signed it over to the other one. I mean, they did it so quick. They were greedy and did it really quick.
Well, that and the car was in Brazil when it was wrecked.
Right.
Yeah.
And so that throws a whole nother red flag on it, going, And it's here now. It's in Canada now. Why? This is kind of like shuffling cards,
Yeah.
I called the guy about a Corvette. It was in Mexico. He was in Texas, but his car was in Mexico. Still down there. He's moving back to Texas. And no. No.
Well,
I'll go through the hassle of trying to get it into the States.
I think
if you want to do something like that, if you want to buy something, then you need to find a professional, Michael Wooding.
Yes.
And find a professional that knows what to look for, gets underneath it, fine-tooth comb, the whole 9 yards, to put an actual, real, honest-to-goodness value on it.
And speaking of Michael, he ran his, he had a Pontiac wagon. And he pulled it because it didn't meet reserve. So he brought that back home.
Did he?
Make him, yeah. According to the Facebook page. But every time I think of Brazil, I think of wax for some reason.
Yeah, I need to find out. Coleman Roddy had the guy we talked to.
He had a wax job?
No, he had 2 cars he took to Mecum. I haven't heard how it turned out yet.
Let's see. In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Time to take a break here. We're available 24/7 through the iHeartRadio app. Just look for In-Wheel Time Car Talk.
All of that.
Podcasts are on your favorite podcast provider. We also video stream our 3-hour weekly show on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com. The In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show continues right after this quick break.
Pro-Am Auto Accessories has been serving Houston's auto enthusiasts since 1984, providing world-class products for sports cars, European sedans, and American muscle. Pro-Am is known as the place to go to find exclusive and hard-to-find parts and accessories. Pro-Am is one of the very first distributors in the USA for brands such as Recaro, Redline, Momo, Corbo, and Simpson. Located in the heart of Houston's premier retail and service corridor, the Galleria area, Pro-Am's walk-in storefront includes an 8,000-square-foot warehouse, showroom, and installation bays. Pro-Am not only sells parts and accessories, but also offers installation and service. Pro-Am is now reaching a worldwide audience through Pro-Am.com, taking its local reputation to the rest of the world. At Pro-Am Auto, you'll be dealing with a small group of professionals who truly want to help you with your automotive needs. If you don't see what you're looking for on the website, call and Pro-Am will lend you a hand. Pro-Am Auto, 6125 Richmond at Green Ridge in Houston's Galleria area. Call them at 713-781-7755. Want to feel good about something special you did for someone special? In-Wheel Time and the original Lupi Tortilla group of Tex-Mex restaurants have joined together to help a very worthy cause, God's Garage, a Christian-based 501c3 charity. We know there are lots of places and organizations out there where you can donate a car, truck, or SUV, but we're asking you, our car enthusiast family, to consider donating to God's Garage. Visit godsgarage.org and learn about its mission, the women that have been helped, how each one is screened, and about their Restore You program. A car donation is an easy way to make a difference in the lives of others. God's Garage needs good operating vehicles, but will take all types in working and non-working condition. Make your heart and soul feel good by donating your gently used vehicle and help support single mothers, widows, and wives of deployed military at godsgarage.org.
All righty. The 28th annual Keels and Wheels. It is going to be May 3rd. Starts at 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. We got Bose cars, vehicle exhibitors, check-in, all that good stuff. Saturday, May 4th, gates open to the public at 10 a.m. Sunday, May 5th, the gates open at 9 a.m. And what we've got there, tickets are $30 in advance. You can get them through the website at www.keels-wheels.com. $40 at the gate if you don't want to do that, and then students are $15. Children under 12 are free. Plenty of parking with plenty of shuttles to get you into the event from your parking area. You got 60 years of Mustangs. We heard from Dustin from Creative Classics and Customs in Kemah. He will be there. Looking forward to seeing his 67 Camaro while we're down there. Big event, 150 cars, 50 boats in the water, and then
we're excited to be back.
We are.
Yeah,
Yep,
we are
yep,
very
yep.
excited to be
Very
back out there. Yeah. Okay. You want to do the cruise-in
I
calendar
can.
now?
I've got that right here.
You do?
You know, there's plenty of stuff going on this
Oh my
weekend.
gosh.
The weather is gorgeous.
It is. And let me just say this before you get into
Sure.
that. This is the beginning of the crux of cruise-ins and car shows. They're everywhere. Pick one. Go.
Yep.
Support your local car show.
Exactly. There's actually 10 of them today, but I can't name all 10, but we're going to get some highlights here. You got the Sienna Cars Meetup at 4400 Sienna Parkway in Missouri City. It's at the Primrose School of Sienna. It's down there. You've got one that's going on till noon today. Started at 8, going till noon. It's the Ocean View Classic Cars and Trucks. That's in LaPorte. It's a little bit further away, but it's at the Sylvan Beach, Mike, so you know where that's at.
Oh, yeah.
You've got the NMCC 15th Annual, which is the Gullo. Ford is a 15th annual all Ford show. We talked about Ford earlier. There is an entry fee of $30 for the cars. There's a 50-50 raffle giveaway. They got a DJ silent auction. They're actually taking donations for Christmas coming up in 2024. And of course, Mike mentioned the Art Car Parade today's going on this afternoon.
Let me just say this.
Sure.
I haven't been in years. Channel 13 is going to cover
Yep.
a portion of it.
Right.
But I will tell you that I used to take the girls down there when it first started, down along Allen Parkway. And it is truly an enjoyable, fun, and I underscore fun event. Take a lawn chair, take a blanket, and sit there, and you're going to spend a couple of hours watching this parade
absolutely.
of cars go
Yeah,
by.
yeah.
And you will be truly amazed at the creativity on some of these cars.
It's like a Thanksgiving Day float going by nowadays. Before it was just cars with a lot of nice, cool, unique
Stuff
things
stuck on 'em.
stuck on them, but now it's more of a float in
I
a
think
parade.
the best one that I ever saw was the one where they had mounted a porta potty and motorized it and took the door off of it, and there's the guy sitting on the porta potty
driving his car. Yeah, there you go. And then we got Cars, Coffee, and More in Liberty. That's at 1923 Sam Houston on the Square. Here's a good one. Harris County Precinct 4 has an event that is the Classic Car Show. It's a free event, fun for all. They've got rides for the kids. They got a petting zoo and so on. That's at 28515 Old Washington in Hockley. Now, there's a bunch today. And then tomorrow you've got about 7 more of them. You've got things going on. Octane and More at Black Rifle Coffee Company. Arandis Taqueria has one. So plenty to do. Get out there, take your hot rod, wash the car first. You want to take a dirty one out there?
Yeah.
Nope, don't want to do that.
Somebody will point it out.
Yep.
I wanted to, Automotive News does this every year. Automotive News Top 150 Dealership Groups. And we've got groups here in the Houston area.
Yep.
The number one group nationwide is a company called Lithia Motors Incorporated. They're based out of Medford, Oregon. They have, sitting down, 344 dealerships.
Ooh.
And the revenue for all departments among all of those dealerships is $31 million.
I remember when Lithia was just a itty-bitty tiny group. Yeah.
Now, here in Houston, we have one that's based here in Houston called Group 1 Automotive.
Yep.
They have 199 dealerships across the United States, based here in Houston, obviously. $17,873 is their annual take.
Wow.
Yeah. So they're doing well, and I'm glad for them. Now, there are some local dealerships that I wanted to tell you about. Advantage BMW. They're
Right down the road.
There's Beck and Maston, BMW of Clear Lake.
Yep.
Genesis of Southwest Houston. Mercedes-Benz Clear Lake. Sprinter. I guess they're selling vans down there. Sterling McCall Acura. These are all of the local What did I say?
Groups.
Group one.
Yeah.
Sterling McCall. All the Sterling McCalls, they're Group 1.
They keep shifting them around with groups like that. They'll move dealerships, put them across the street from each other, buy and sell, trade, whatever you want to do.
But there are other also dealerships that are listed on this top 150 dealership groups. Gilman, number 103.
Yeah. Gilman's involved in the community a lot, too.
Bayway.
Yep, they are as well.
Wisniewski, 114th on the 150 list. And DeMontron makes the 150 list at number 131. So those are some of your local dealers that are on
And
there.
DeMontron has the big travel homes, the motorized, either the pushers or the pullers. They have those big...
My dad
events.
bought a Buick from DeMontron, actually several of them, back when DeMontron was down, and I think the location was at Kirby and Westheimer. Believe that or not, back then, Kirby and Westheimer, there was a dealership there, and I think that it was DeMontron, and Dad bought a Buick there, actually a couple of them. Interesting. There was something else that I wanted to do. While I got time, just a couple minutes here, I wanted to do recalls this week. Front wheel hub bolts are over-tightened on the Chevy Colorado and the GMC Canyon for the 2023 model year. That's not good. Chrysler, turn signal malfunction on a lot of their vehicles, particularly the Jeep Cherokee for 2022. Turn signal malfunction. So, hit the switch.
Nope.
You're going to go to the left? No. Signal says you're going to go to the right.
Doesn't matter. Just leave it on.
Chrysler Pacifica and the Voyager for 2024. Unintended deactivation of traction control. Front lower control arm may fail from the Kia Forte for 2023 and the Hyundai Santa Fe for 2024. It's being recalled because of an obstructed rear view camera image. Oh, sorry, we put the license plate over that camera. There's something, whatever it is.
There's tricks to that.
There is.
Yeah, I saw one where they lowered the tailgate and kind of, the camera was on the top of the tailgate. They kind of lowered it down a little bit, strapped it up somehow so they could see the hitch.
Well, there are some trucks that actually have that.
Well, this is one that you can modify.
Yeah. Hey, we'd love to hear from you. Shoot us an email anytime. The address here is info@inwheeltime.com.
Yep.
Time now for a quick break on In Wheel Time, and we'll be back right after these messages.
The original group of Loopy Tortilla restaurants will have you telling your family and friends just what the original recipes mean when it comes to the best fajitas in Southeast Texas. Founder Stan Holt invites you to visit the original Loopy Tortilla near I-10 and Highway 6. Here's the original house that inspired the design of all the rest and the original charm that helped make Loopy Tortilla the go-to destination for Houston Tex-Mex. Speaking of original, nothing can compete with the original lime pepper marinade that everyone will agree makes Loopy Tortilla award-winning beef fajitas the best anywhere. Loopy Tortilla Katy is another location that gives you the same quality and service Houstonians have come to expect at Loopy's. It's located just off I-10 and the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard in Katy. Find yourself in Aggieland? Head to the Loopy Tortilla in College Station, located just around the corner from Kyle Field. It's a great place to enjoy those famous frozen margaritas before or after the game. Headed east to Louisiana, stop in at the Loopy Tortilla in Beaumont. It too's on I-10. You can't miss it. The original group of Loopy Tortilla restaurants invites you in for the best Tex-Mex anywhere. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is having another car social Saturday morning, May 18th from 8 to 11. It's a car cruise-in like no other. Expect Ferraris, Lamborghinis, Corvettes, and the featured brand Porsche. Get social at this special cruise-in event. You'll also see Gulf Coast Auto Shield's private workshop and learn about their many products and services. Questions are welcomed. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is easy to get to at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway near West Airport Boulevard, just south of the Southwest Freeway. The Car Social featuring Porsche takes place Saturday morning, May 18th from 8 to 11. Tell your friends, and no matter what car you have, bring it and enjoy this rare opportunity to see some of Houston's finest rides. In Wheel Time will bring its Car Talk show there too, so join us for another Car Social at Gulf Coast Auto Shield, Saturday morning, May 18th, 8 to 11 at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway, just south of the Southwest Freeway. Visit gcautoshield.com to see the show flyer for more details. That's it for this podcast episode of the In Wheel Time Car Show. I'm Don Armstrong, inviting you to join us for our live show every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and our InWheelTime.com website. Podcasts are available on Apple Podcast, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeart Podcast, Podcast Addict, TuneIn, Pandora, and Amazon Music. Keep listening, and we'll see you soon.